go ahead and call the meeting to order. We begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you would like to join us, please stand. And I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, thank you all for coming. First item on our agenda is to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a commissioner or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda. All consent agenda items are commission action items unless noted.
I would move to approve the consent agenda with the indication that I'll be voting no on item 2.
Is there a second?
Yes, second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Well, that concludes our consent agenda, and we have no regular agenda items. However, we do have a presentation for our ACHD Rodeo competition team that's going to be attending the rodeo competition in Colorado next week. So, Director Wong.
Commissioners, Bruce Wong, Director, Ada County Highway District. Again, thank you. Today, we are honoring our competition team. They got on an airplane on Tuesday to represent ACHD in the regional competition. So with that, I'd like to have Tim Nicholson, Deputy Director of Maintenance, introduce his team to you. And if you'd come off the dais, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Commissioners, thank you for this opportunity. We want
this is the continuing public communications, and we do have somebody signed up. Norm Varon, if you want to come up, give your name and address for the record and tell us what's on your mind.
My name is Norm Varon, 2818 West Tarana Drive, Meridian, Idaho, 83646. I was kind of hoping everybody would leave. But I know this isn't on the agenda, and I know we can't make a decision on it, but I wanted to present an issue to you, and hopefully maybe we can have a further dialogue. If you're okay, I'd like to read off of a written thing I wrote. So,
Sure.
good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to come before you today. My name is Norm Varon. I'm a parent and a volunteer board member for Compass Public Charter School located in Ada County, which is a different Compass than what you were talking about in your earlier meeting. Currently, we're in the process of building a facility for the very first time since the school was founded in 2005. The new facility will be located at the northeast corner of Black Cat and Franklin Roads in Ada County. It's a very, very exciting time. One unique characteristic of charter schools for new facility funding is that we do not have the ability to run a public tax bond. So we have been through a very lengthy and careful process to secure private bond funds based upon our ability to repay a long-term note using our state revenues. The limits have created tough decisions, and one, for example, is we're going to build our secondary campus, hopefully sell our elementary campus, and then we can build that later. But we're also shelling out the gym. We won't be able to use the gym because we won't have the funds to finish the gym at this time. But we've also found that we try to look for creative solutions to these types of challenges, which is why I'm here today. As a part of the billing process, we are being required to pay just around $200,000 in impact fees. We understand the general intent of these types of fees for what they're used for. Upon investigation, we have discovered that other similar public educational institutions who receive state funding have received a waiver of those fees. Those institutions, for example, include the West Ada County School District and Boise State University. And in fact, there's a West Ada school that was recently reviewed, and they were waived for $706,000 in impact fees. So with your permission, I'd like to read an expert from an Attorney General opinion, if that's okay. So we have Attorney General opinions, Idaho Attorney General opinion number 93-5, dated April 7th, 1993. So it's quite old, but we think it pertains to the situation. Quote, to assess impact fees against the state, in essence, is a general assessment against the taxpayers of the state. Taxpayers fund the workings of government, including the construction of the state government buildings which house state operations. The intent of development impact fees is to avoid placing further tax burdens on the general public as a result of new development. Assessment of impact fees against the state would be in derogation of the general intent behind the establishment of impact fees, unquote. So we think that the same argument could apply to our school. Taxpayers fund the workings of public charter schools in general, and that's basically all of the revenues that we receive to run our schools from the state taxes that we receive. If the intent of the development impact fees is to avoid placing further tax burdens on the general public, then Ada County Highway District should consider not assessing the impact fees against the public charter schools who are funded exclusively through the public tax dollars. And with that, I just wanted to thank you for your time and to stand before you for any questions. And I know you can't make a decision today since it's not on the agenda, but we just broke ground I'm very nervous, sorry. We just broke ground last Friday. It's a really exciting time. We're a very small school, and we're just looking for creative ways to finish what we can to build this for the students and our kids. So with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Does anyone have any
No.
questions?
Thank you for coming.
You're right, we can't make a decision, but I would encourage you to just, send in a waiver request and we'll see where that goes.
So if we get, and we've talked with staff's been very helpful with commissioners with helping us go through the process, and that hasn't been something that appeared we could do. So is there a waiver form that we can fill out, or I'm not,
Here's
We're
our
not aware.
attorney. He might be able to help you with the process.
Thank you. Madam President, Commissioners, Steve Price, ACHD General Counsel. Your attorney, Chris Jorgensen, called and left a message, but and was requesting an explanation, but he left the wrong number, and I don't know how to get a hold of him. But the problem is that under the Idaho Development Impact Fee law, that impact fees and the system of impact fees are financially constrained. And so all developments are required to pay an impact fee. The legislature 2 years ago, we went and asked them to create an exception. And it was really more of a public policy that taxing districts shouldn't be taxing each other. And so when you have a state or any other listed taxing district that's in the Idaho Code, then there's the opportunity to enter into an agreement to have those impact fees waived. In fact, that if you look within the definition of development, that is where the waiver is. The problem we've had with charter schools, and we most certainly understand your position, is that they are not a taxing district and they don't receive taxing funds. And so they're left out of the ability to not pay impact fees. The other problem is that if we somehow did waive the impact fees, then ACHDs, we would have to pay those impact fees out of our general fund. And so then the ACHD taxpayers would be funding for those improvements. So I'm happy to sit down with Mr. Jorgensen. And I can walk him through those statutes, but it really is a very constrained statutory framework that prohibits us from allowing a waiver from a non-taxing district entity.
so just, I guess, a question. So it is not worthwhile to even fill out a waiver in general to try and, for this fee? And we are not a taxing district, but all of our revenues come from taxes. So it seems to us a little circular that we're taxing an entity. We're using tax funds to pay for impact fees that are basically a tax. So that's kind of where we're coming from. And I understand the current discussion, but is it still okay or proper for us to fill out a waiver, or is there just no reason to do that?
Yeah, I would think, well, it's totally up to you, but I think that your attorney should sit down with our attorney and walk through all this stuff. It may be that this is something that a change at the legislature is needed, and that's coming up pretty soon, so.
I do know.
Yeah, the whole charter school thing is a murky area, unfortunately, but I would encourage you not to give up. I would encourage you to just, pursue this as far as we can go.
Okay, well, who do I get that form from?
Is there a form, or I think you just need to have your attorney talk with our attorney and they can talk about that.
Okay. So thank you again for your time. Appreciate your willingness to let it get in front of you today.
Good luck to your construction.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay. And then finally, we have a video, I think, that we would like to see. So if you want to cue that up. I guess this was presented to our ADA committee, for the upcoming Hollister and State Street project.
Safety, whether you're driving, walking, or riding a bike. Shorter wait times at the stoplight so you can get through the intersection quickly and efficiently. Easy and safe access to area businesses. That's what we heard when we asked you how to improve the intersection of State Street and Hollister Drive. We used your input from an online survey and public meeting and combined it with the findings of several studies of State Street. The resulting project is designed to reduce congestion and improve the safety of all users. State and Hollister is one of several intersections that will be improved in the future in anticipation of widening State Street. Right now, about 32,000 vehicles travel through the State and Collister intersection on a daily basis. In the future, State Street will be widened to 7 lanes, and the number of vehicles traveling through the intersection or turning north on Collister will increase to a total of 58,000 a day. To plan for this future growth and improve safety, ACHD will realign the Collister intersection to the west. So how will the new intersection work? If you're headed south on Collister, you can use the new right or left turn lanes to get onto State. These dedicated turn lanes will shorten wait times at the signal. If you're on State Street and want to turn onto Collister, it's a simple left at the signal, or you'll use the new dedicated turn lane to make a right. If you want to go to local businesses in the Collister Shopping Center or to On the Fly or Terry's, you can use the intersection and a new and safer roadway connection to get in and out of the area. The old Collister Drive will become an access road to the shopping center area. You can turn into On the Fly from State Street, whether you're headed east or west, but you'll use the new intersection to get back onto State. You can continue to access the shopping center from State Street. One of the accesses will be changed to right in and right out to enhance safety. The project will cover the Farmers Union Canal to widen the roadway and add sidewalks and bike lanes on the south side of State. A paved pathway will provide an improved access point to the Greenbelt. Pedestrians and cyclists will be able to cross State Street on either side of the intersection using a crosswalk, and we're also adding bike lanes and sidewalks to the north side of State to improve safety. Enhancements include a new transit stop on the west side of the intersection. Existing transit stops in front of the shopping center and the Edgewater Apartments will remain. Buses and future transit operations will use the outside lanes to pick up passengers. This will make using transit more convenient in the area. All of the projects are planned to better serve you, whether you drive, walk, bike, or use transit. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the project. For more information, please go to www.achdIdaho.org.
Well. Okay. Is there anyone else who wishes to address the commission on any issue? If not, then meeting adjourned.